We learn that the mysterious person is the first king, Yuya, and Cain is shocked. He thinks that he should be over 300 years old, and wonders if he is a ghost. Yuya asks him to check his status, and Cain learns that he has the title God of Creation. Yuya tells Cain that this world is called Fabrinil, and it was created by him. He tells him he got a request from the gods to train him. Yuya asks Cain to take the cookie from him, but as he tries to take it, Yuya draws his sword to block him. Cain wonders why he needs to be so strong, and Yuya tells him there's an evil god Eren, who made people kill each other all over the world 300 years ago using an oracle, and Cain has to defeat him. Yuya and his friends managed to seal him away 300 years ago, but that seal is slowly getting loose, and due to this, Eren will be resurrected soon. Cain asks why Yuya can't take care of it, and he explains that he has become the god of this world, and as a god he or other gods can't interfere with his world, and Cain will have to take care of it. He tells him that he will share something that has to do with his previous life after the training, and teleports outside. He gives him a compass, and his task is to reach the mansion without using his teleportation skill. Cain's current level is 300, but he needs to raise it to 600 before he can fight Eren. Cain wonders about returning to his academy, and Yuya tells him not to worry as 1 year spent here is 1 day in the real world, so he should be fine. Yuya tells him that he can either do it or not and teleports back. Cain realizes that he has no other option, so he rushes into the forest. He faces a giant snake, followed by a giant orc, and defeats it. It's been only 5 minutes, but he has already faced a lot of monsters, and continues to fight them to level up. Back in the real world, Sylvie opens the door hoping it to be Cain, and sees Tellus and Silk. She tells them that he has not returned since yesterday, and they tell him that he hasn't been to the academy either. Sylvie worries if he's been kidnapped, or imprisoned, or maybe stuck in a ditch, but Tellus tells her that he would be fine as he is the overpowered MC of this story, so they decide to wait there until he arrives. We then see Cain is about to be devoured by a monster, but he wakes up just in time, and defeats it. It's been months since he has started fighting, and he hasn't even slept. He doesn't have any energy left to think about anything. Just then he hears a voice, and finds a wounded puppy. Seeing the look on the puppy's eyes, he remembers about the girls he saved in his previous life. He uses every bit of magic to cast a heal spell on it, and passes out. Later we see that the puppy defends him by killing the monster that tries to attack Cain. Cain wakes up, and realizes that the puppy was protecting him. The puppy is happy to see Cain, and he decides to accompany the puppy on his trip. He names it Haku, and seeing it protect him, Cain realizes that he also has things to protect, so he can't give up. He continued his journey with Haku, and years passed until they finally made it to the mansion. Yuya is surprised by how much he has grown, and it has been 4 years. He sees the Fenrir, and tells him that it's a divine beast. Since it likes Cain, he can form a summoning contract with the beast, and call him any time he wants. He tries it out, and Haku disappears. Yuya tells him that his training is not over yet, and introduces him to his new master, Doran. Before they start the training, Cain asks Yuya to reveal the thing about Eren, and his previous life. We then cut to Cain's training with Doran, where he mentions that Yuya is stronger than him, but Eren is stronger than Yuya. They start the fight, and Doran defeats Cain in a single blow. Cain wakes up in Doran's house, and there he meets his wife Ruri. He's excited to see a child dragon, but Haku is jealous of the beast. As Cain eats his food, he is brought to tears, as it has been years since he had a decent meal. Back in the real world, we see Tellus and Silk cooking, and they hope to prepare him something good when he gets back. Sylvie then asks them to move their hands well, otherwise they won't learn to make Cain happy. Meanwhile, we see Doran continues to beat Cain down, and he's glad to see him improve. A year passes, and we see Cain beaten down, but the anger of having to stop Eren keeps him moving forward. He then remembers about the time when Yuya revealed everything to him. Eren was originally the god of games, and seated among the gods. Yuya tells him this is why his world doesn't have any games, and gods had asked him to create one for them. Eren used his oracle, and forced everyone to play Squid Game. If he comes back again, the games will start again, and Cain's loved one will be also involved. He then reveals that during his battle with Eren, he couldn't protect his friends, and they are none other than Cain's parents, who were summoned along with him when they were Isekaid by Truck-kun. The gods asked them to save the world, and they fought with Eren. His mother's inferno spell was ineffective, and as the battle continued Yuya and Cain's father managed to hold him back, but with a single blow he killed all their companions, along with Cain's mother. His father couldn't take this, and he sacrificed himself, giving Yuya an opening to seal Eren away. Remembering this, Cain finally manages to defeat Korin. His training is finally over, and he visits his parents' grave. Yuya shows him the cookie, and this time Cain manages to take it from him. Yuya tells him that he has gotten stronger, and Cain thanks him for his guidance. He invites Cain for coffee but he wants to return to his world quickly, as it has been 5 years since he has seen everyone. Yuya uses his magic to turn back his age to match with his real world, and asks to take Haku with him. Just then Doran arrives, and asks to take the little dragon as well, and Cain forms a contract with it. As he leaves, Yuya also gives him his sword. Cain gets back to the real world, and everyone is glad on his arrival. Tellus and Silk give him the cookie they made, and he gets emotional. Later he gets scolded for his absence by Tellus and Silk. After that, he briefs the details to the king, who is surprised that he met with the first king. He also shows them the weapon he got from the first king, which makes them believe him. He tells them about the training he had to undergo for 5 years, and the king is shocked to hear that. While Duke thinks he still has his humor intact after 5 years. He tells him that while he was away, he forgot to accept the request from the Adventurer Guild, and it could lead to the cancellation of his registration, and Cain is shocked. He meets the guild master, and apologizes for not responding to his request due to his busy schedule with academy, and other works. The guild master tells him that Tefana was missing him, and her bottled-up love might explode any second. Cain thinks he will use his wooden stick to satisfy her desire later, but now he is more interested about the Adventure Guild registration. The guild master tells him that if he doesn't take his request right away his registration will be cancelled, and he accepts the request. He has to capture 10 bandits which are on the way to the capital from a territory called Gracia. Cain uses his teleport magic to reach there in an instant, and uses his flight magic to survey the area. He sees the bandits attacking a carriage, and when he lands, he notices that they are his tutors. He sees that Millie is hurt, so he uses his healing magic to treat her wounds. The bandits mocks him, and asks him to go feed on his mommy. Cain is pissed, and activates his boost ability. He defeats them easily, and thinks holding back is really difficult. Cain tells them that he came on the request of the guild, and they think that he should be at least C rank for accepting such quests. But they are shocked when they see that he's an A rank adventurer, and they wonder what they should do with the bandits. We then see the bandits being dragged in a carriage, and the residents are disgusted at them. The person they escorted is Sabinos, who is the father of Parma. She is surprised that Cain caught all the bandits, and thinks he works so hard even on the off days, and he must have other barren works to do. His tutors are shocked to hear that Cain became a baron. Millie thinks now she has to call him Baron Cain while Nina thinks of calling him Sugar Daddy, but he tells them to treat him as usual, and call him just Cain. His tutors are impressed with him, and tries to develop a plot with him, but he escapes from there as he has to hand over the bandits. Cain hands over the bandits to the guild, and the receptionist is impressed that he captured them so quickly. Meanwhile his tutors have reached the guild, and they are again harassed by the same adventurers. Cain stops them, and they realize it's the kid from before so they back off. Just then Claude arrives, and it's revealed that Millie is his sister, shocking Cain. Claude learns that they were Cain's tutor when he was 5. They decide to celebrate this occasion with a drink, and we see them toasting to adventure. Although, Cain is still drinking the fruit juice. The tutors tell Claude about how they met Cain today, and how quickly he defeated the bandits. Claude is shocked to learn that he got to A rank so quickly, and he is shocked further when he learns that he is a baron. The tutors go on to boast about Cain, and tell them about their magic bag that Cain made, and Lena is shocked to see them. They tell her that it could contain the size of a mansion, and the drunk Lena begs Cain to make one. He agrees, and she passes out. Claude tells him not to worry as she won't remember anything tomorrow. Cain then remembers that he has to go to school tomorrow, and he has so much to catch up on. Nina offers a goodbye hug, but he already has an elf in his harem, so he just runs off. Claude wonders if there's anything that they could do to help him at school. Just then we see Latia is looking for substitute teachers at school, and Claude has a plan. The following day, the teacher asks the students to cast their magic at the target. Cain is excited to show off his skill that he learned from Yuya, but the teacher tells him that she got a letter from the headmaster that Cain should only observe, and he feels left out. Meanwhile Claude and team watch this, and they plan to do something. During his next class, the teacher introduces Claude and his team, and Cain wonders why they didn't tell about their visit yesterday. Claude asks the class how many of them are registered as adventurers, and everyone raises their hands. He then asks the class to put out their adventure card in front, although his goal was to make Cain popular in class. Cain thinks that his A-rank card will make it even harder to make friends, so he tells him that he forgot to bring it. Claude then thinks they will have to use their trump card. In their next practical session, Claude and others start their training. Cain thinks he'll get to show off his abilities finally but sees the line being already formed, and he's left out. However, this is all part of their plan. They want to show the other kids how strong they are, and if Cain manages to keep up with them, all the students will be amazed by his strength. The training continues, and it's finally Cain's turn. But just as he struck the wooden swords with Claude, the bell rang, and it's already the end of their class. Claude apologized, and promised to battle him next time, but the teacher tells him that there won't be a next time as they don't have the budget to hire them because they spent their money on repairing the damage caused by Cain. Later at night, he takes out his anger by destroying trees. Just then a dragon appears but he easily kills it. He then sees a giant rock, and casts his flare magic. The guards think it's the Demon King, and sounds the alarm. Cain feels better, and he teleports out leaving his towel as usual. Garm reaches with his army only to see the giant crater, and the towel left behind Cain. Inside the king's room, he tells Cain that they received news about the Demon King's arrival in the forest. Cain assures him that it was not a Demon King, and the king asks him how he is so sure, and uses his ultimate move, the suspicious stare, and Cain finally admits that it was him. Meanwhile we see a monster finding a crystal but it's devoured by the black dragon, and we hear Aaron's voice that tells us that the seal has loosened, and even though it's just one part of his body, it should be enough. Later we see Garm scolding Cain again for the incident at the forest. This is where the video ends. Thanks for watching and see you in the next part.